Scott Porter clarifies wrong. Celebrity weakest link, answers after win from Ariana Grande to Hooters. After his win on Celebrity Weakest Link, Scott Porter is breaking down his strategy and defending some of his surprisingly wrong answers. Porter, 46, who was competing to raise money for Huntington's Disease Society of America, exclusively told us weekly about the moment he realized he could come out on top during the Monday, October 13th, episode of the Fox game show. I was very fortunate in my final 5 questions that my knowledge base is wide enough to be able to get a bunch of those right, he recalled. I didn't so much feel the pressure of that moment as much as a clarity of, not only did I come here to raise awareness for Huntington's, but I think I might be able to take some of this home for the cause. I played football in high school and was recruited to play football in college. So I have a very competitive nature about me. When the big moments happen, sometimes everything just goes quiet, he recalled. It was just the clarity and quiet of the moment. The knowledge base came into play later, but the overall game strategy was way more important in this episode. Porter's episode of Celebrity Weakest Link allowed him to compete alongside other actors from various teen shows, including former Friday Night Lights co-star Amy Teagarden, Sheenie Grimes, and Matt Lanter from 90210, Beverly Mitchell, and Barry Watson from Seventh Heaven and more. With a game like Weakest Link, people want to try and study, but it's really difficult to study for a catch-all trivia show like this. What I would recommend for people who are going on a show like this is to study game theory and to really understand the way the game works. The ins and outs, Porter explained to us. So if you're wrong, or if you're going to be wrong, know it very quickly, and just say the wrong answer or pass, because the most important thing is keeping that time on the clock so the answers you do know can be answered and the money you can make can be banked. Porter did extensive research before participating in the show, adding, "For me, it was more about making sure to figure out a way to maximize my ability to not only bank money but keep time on the clock. That research did me some good because I ended up being the strongest link in a few rounds." The other part of Weakest Link is there's a little bit of Survivor. There are little mini alliances that are going to form that were magnified on my particular episode because we had pairs from different TV shows. You had automatic alliances already set up that I knew I had to be aware of, and I had to try to eliminate pieces to keep myself on the show, to give me a shot at being there in the end. He continued, "When you watch the show, you see some people sandbag a little bit. They'll act like they're not as smart as they are, so that if they get to the final 3, they'll have a good shot of being in the final pair. I didn't so much do that as to try and whittle down the alliance chances. I think it played out in my favor. While Porter ultimately made it into the final 3, and then won, he didn't get every question right. Some of the ones that stuck out include a question about Ariana Grande's music and a Hooters-related inquiry. I could have gotten there with the Ariana question. But if you're going to be wrong, be fast. You're looking at the clock, and you're trying to make sure that the money's been banked. I'm not hurting the team by just getting this wrong, and getting it to somebody who can get a question correctly quickly," he noted. The other one that I think people are going to really come at me for is the Hooters question. That's the one that actually stuck with me. The Ariana Grande one didn't stick with me as much, but the scantily clad waitresses at this restaurant that filed for bankruptcy last year. It was Hooters. But I said French Laundry,